nice time. Okay, see, Mrs. Akin was drumming for everyone. Hope you danced. Okay, she has something interesting to teach you today. That's why she came into the classroom with all of these instruments. Now, let's go into what we have straight. Our subject is cultural and creative arts, and our topic is foreign musical instruments. Now, what are musical instruments? Musical instruments are objects or devices for producing musical sound. They are objects like this, all of this we can see here, for producing musical sound. Now, there are two types of musical instruments. The first one is the local musical instruments, and the second one is the foreign musical instruments. The local musical instruments are instruments that can be produced and found around us. Now, let's look at our main aim of concentration: foreign musical instruments. What are foreign musical instruments? Foreign musical instruments are instruments that are not locally made in Nigeria, but they are used to produce sound. We don't make them in Nigeria. We bring them in from other countries into Nigeria to help us produce musical sounds. Now, let's look at the classification of foreign musical instruments. Foreign musical instruments are classified into four. They are classified into four. Namely, the first one, the brass instruments. What are the brass instruments? The brass instruments are musical instruments that produces sound when air is blown into a pipe or tube. And we have some examples. The examples are trumpet. See it here, we can see our trumpet on the chart. The second one is the trombone. The next one, the tube, the French horn, and the last one, the cornet. All of these are examples of the brass instruments. Let's go to the number 2 category of the foreign musical instruments. We have the woodwind instrument. The woodwind instrument, they generate sound by blowing air into a column. They generate sound by blowing air into a column, and it helps to produce the particular sound we want to hear when the air is blown into the column using the wooden object placed on the mouthpiece. Usually we have a wooden object placed on the mouthpiece of this type of instrument, and we have some examples. We have example 1, the saxophone, the flute. We have the flute. You can see the flute here. We have the piccolo, the clarinet, and so on and so forth. Now let's look at the third classification of the musical instrument. We have the percussion instrument. What are the percussion instruments? They produce sound when they are being struck or beaten. When you strike them or beat them, they produce sound like this. This is an example of a percussion instrument. So we have our example. The first one is the bass drum. The bass drum is an example of a percussion instrument. We have the snare drum. Then the next one, we have the cymbals. All of these instruments produces sound when you beat them or you hit them. I believe the tambourine too is one of the example of the percussion instrument, because you need to beat it before it will produce the sound we need. Now the last one we have here is the string instrument. They are string instruments. What do I mean? They produce sound with the use of strings. Now look at this. I have this here. Are you seeing the string? This is a string. As I'm doing it, it's producing my desired sound. Apart from that, how else can we produce this sound using the string instrument? We can produce them by bowing the instrument, like my keyboard now. You see, by the time I press a key, the key goes down. That means it's going in the bowing form to produce the sound I need. Okay, now let's look at the examples. We have the violin. We have the violin. This is a violin. We have the guitar. The guitar is also a musical instrument called the string instrument. Now we also have the mandolin, the keyboard, which is this. We have the keyboard, the harp. Look at our harp. So these are some of the examples of string instruments. So this is all we are going to be looking at on the musical instrument. That's a foreign musical instrument. If you have any question, you can send me your questions and I'll be happy to respond to them. Do have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.